The following podcast is an ATW View Impromptu.
It worked out perfectly. I can get used to being on stream. I mean, I love Zoom too, but I can get used to this.
Yeah, plus, I don't think StreamYards is expensive.
No, it's not.
No.
But that being said, as we start our impromptu conversation, guys, can you believe it's been less than 1 month since we last got together to talk about what the hell's been happening in the industry? After the events of Double or Nothing, we got the freaking Forbidden Door right around the corner. W's trying to make everything white and gold, more than the fear of roasted truffle. Impact Wrestling, you got freaking heelish Nick Aldis trying to reclaim the freaking Impact World Championship. And the Moisty Machine Guns run Impact Wrestling. And, of course, Pro Wrestling NOLA, the freaking Congo group just broke up, and somebody's about to leave their group in Stardom courtesy of a steel cage match, or it'll tie and Queen's Crest is not going to be the same again. Why do I say all these things? Because, once again, they are all matters of all sorts of happenings in all things wrestling. So here we freaking go again. We're back together. You know what that means. And from now on going forward, we are using StreamYard. So to those that are watching, welcome once again, everybody, to another simple, impromptu ATW view. You know what this is, for I'm a simple man, a simple brand, and the voice of JMN. My name is Noah Foster. With me, as always, is my all-elite brother since day zero, the king and the inquirer of all things news with a positive attitude. Tell you like it is.
Well, I wouldn't say positive attitude.
Well, mostly positive attitude. You bring a smile. Eric Brown. Gentlemen, again, we're upgrading as AEW upgraded Saturday nights. We're on StreamYard now. We are just under 24 hours away from the Forbidden Door, and we have seen a new era of AEW unfold with Collision, second time in a week now on Saturday night, and we are going to know the perception of the environment loud and clear no matter what compared to Wednesday versus Saturday nights. Before we get into the nice discussion on all things wrestling and our primary topic, the main event, Eric, good to see you. How are you?
Metaphor.
Oh, here we go.
Fucker. Broke me last night. That's such
Broke
us
last
shit.
night.
What the fuck are you thinking, Shawn Michaels? That's such dumb shit.
What was you thinking, HBK? Come on, man. Seriously?
Did someone run him through a barbershop window? I'm just saying. The metaphor. Again. Not my NXT!
Nope.
But I digress.
Oh, but I did hear something interesting about what could be the future at All In.
Oh, do tell.
Do tell.
Well, guess who they might be bringing in to help celebrate this momentous occasion? Davey Boy Smith.
Ooh. Well, you think about SummerSlam back in 91 or
no, 92.
92.
Well, look, guys, I was 1 year off. Give me a break. I was born in 1992. All right. So I think that'd be very fitting. So I'm for it. I can't wait to see what happens with it. That being said, good to see you, Eric King. Always a pleasure. We just tested StreamYard for the first time with our Collision reactions. I don't know if we're going to go live with them anytime soon. We'll see how we feel about these things going forward. But it's always good to see you. How you feeling now that Forbidden Door? Nothing is between us now, between that show, but just mere hours of time.
Also, we got to remember one more thing. That next Wednesday and Thursday, we fight forever.
Yes, I almost forgot about that as the wait is finally over. And we'll, of course, talk more about that, too. But, King, how are you?
Man, always good to see y'all, fam, especially with you, Noah, as we just got done with our Collision watch along here on StreamYard. Tony, you decided to one-up yourself from last year from 13 to 14, didn't you?
He had to. He friggin' had to.
You madman. In a good way, though.
Oh, that's fair. Let's subtly talk about it, too. All right, guys, simple stuff. Like I said, we're going to keep it simple here tonight as we usually do. So without further ado,
Nothing's ever simple here.
Well, I try and keep it simple, for I'm the simple man. And I know you are the agent of chaos, but we're going to focus, because we've only been literally gone apart for a month. We're just going to focus primarily on AEW, and we got more than enough to talk about with what's been happening lately with the inception of Saturday Night Pro Wrestling again with Collision. So without further ado, let's just get right fucking into it. Okay, so let's go ahead and first talk about the new era that has been unleashed upon us now that Saturday nights are all right for professional wrestling since this guy has come back. CM Punk has made it well known that he is not stopping anytime soon until somebody can fill those very boots that he wears around his neck last week, and that little red bag is removed from his grasp when you hit him or submit him, including what's inside of it. Tonight, we got firsthand the reception to his return outside the place he's held as a king, like Michael Jordan, Chicago, in Canada, eh? And in AEW, there is no artificial filtering. There is no bullshitting. The audience is free to be who they want to be, and you hear it loud and clear, and CM Punk don't give a damn. So that being said, Eric, we haven't seen you for a little bit. Collision now. It's almost like Battle of the Worlds, Worlds Collide. It's almost like a civil war could be ensued within AEW with the fan base. What's been your thoughts with the inception of Collision and CM Punk's return?
Well, first off, Collision is basically Tony Khan's way of saying, okay, we put all the problematic elements and we collide them into one show.
Accurate.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's not going to cause any meltdowns whatsoever.
I mean, hindsight's 20/20, right?
Also, speaking of CM Punk's return, at least he'll probably embrace the Bret Hart fully because he'll probably be cheered as a god in Chicago and hated everywhere else.
Well, yeah, and I mean, it's a whole different dynamic when you think about one Maxwell Jacob Friedman, who, again, he's held as a king only in Long Island, New York, but the people in and out of Long Island hate and love him because they respect him for what he's brought to the ring, in and out character and wrestling dynamic. And yeah, to your point, let's look at the names that have come back. We got Miro, we got Andrade El Idolo, we got Scorpio Sky, and we have seen so far what they're trying to make this stage. Miro's saying right now, I walk alone, no God, no gold, no wife. Apparently. I had no idea. We see Scorpio Sky says, I lost myself, but now I'm finally going to show who I truly am. And you guys will see that soon enough. Thunder Rosa, unfortunately, still not cleared, but I imagine she's going to make this her center stage. And they're teasing Samoa Joe versus CM Punk finally being renewed because CM Punk's never beat Samoa Joe in one-on-one action, and that promo could be coming up literally within the next 2 weeks or so. So
I'm expecting shenanigans to stop that from happening. They need to save that for a big pay-per-view, I feel like.
I completely agree with you. I think that the pay-per-view match waiting to happen. So it's one of those things where I'm like, I don't know necessarily if you pull the trigger on that this soon because Ring of Honor Inception versus the Owen Outlook versus one-on-one rivalry and the storytelling thereof. I'm curious, where this could all lead to. But also, it's safe to say that Saturday nights are a whole different presentation, not just with the talent, but just top to bottom. The set, the vibe, the flow, the audience, the progression, the attention, and honestly, the matches feel even more longer. They're not like rushed. It's like they literally can breathe and build to something. And Andrade El Idolo matches have personified that particularly, and the women.
Yes.
Yeah, because the women have had more TV time than they have on Dynamite, which, dang.
In different spots, might I add.
Yeah.
Now we just need more main event time.
Well, I mean, hey, if Tyler Valkyrie and Chris Statler told us anything, I think Tony Khan's finally starting to learn from his mistakes and respect women's wrestling. Damn it, but I digress. By the way, Chris Statler is so good to have her back. King, again, man, what's been your thoughts lately with Collision? 2 weekends in, how's it stack up to you versus your expectations and what you usually see on Wednesday nights?
It's basically, all I see is basically how it's different than on Wednesdays, because on Wednesdays, it's your typical AEW Dynamite, we're used to that formula of what is being ran on Wednesdays. Then it is on Collision where it's like, didn't we have this before? Like, where it didn't feel like that sort of rushed or anything like that when AEW was first started. And then, of course, networks keep pushing down their throat and everything like that. But it's like with Collision, it's a little bit more different. Like, it feels a bit more, in my opinion, sports eccentric, especially with Kevin Kelly and Nigel McGuinness on commentary. So
Ring of Honor represent.
so it's like more of a different pace than we're so used to on Wednesdays. And I'm loving it. Like two weekends in, and I'm still loving it. You won't hear no complaint out of me.
Well, Warner Bros. Discovery's loving it.
Yep.
I'd say, well, again, we figure about this. It was the network that gave Tony Khan this. So despite what people say about numbers, shut the fuck up. Clearly, they have a good relationship. If the network is happy with the way Tony Khan is doing business, that's all that matters. And apparently, according to what I heard, the premiere highly exceeded even the network's expectations when it came to the
For a
demographic.
Saturday night show.
It was what?
First show and almost
For a Saturday night show.
Yeah, about
and it almost
Saturday nights.
it almost drew 1 million. It was at 800,000 to like 200,000 from being 1 million.
Yep.
That's freaking
Give me a
impressive.
second. I gotta get something.
Oh, you're fine. We're just shooting the breeze. And again, yeah, like you said, a collision. We got the Andrade Illegal House of Black narrative going on. They're eventually going to run back Andrade Illegal versus Malachi Black. Andrade looking strong as ever. Have loved his return, absolutely. CM Punk, while he has been involved 2 weeks in a row in the main event, it focuses on the fact that he doesn't always have to win, as we just saw. And your Bullet Club Gold just got 2 brand new members. It also feels like Collision's given more of a chance for younger talent to be accelerated and presented. Ricky Starks, Sky Blue, Willow Nightingale, The Guns,
Sky
Powerhouse
Blue's my
Hobbs.
girl to win the Owen.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll go to that here shortly. So that being said, yeah, I'm all in, pun intended, on Collision right now. And honestly, I'm not going to pick a side, but you definitely can get a different perspective from me as a fan when it comes to how we react Wednesdays versus Saturday nights. I think it's safe to say.
Speaking of Wednesday nights, Kenny Omega made an announcement on Twitter 2 hours ago.
What I got to?
He was on June 26th. He's going to have a big video drop on Square Enix channel.
I bet I know what that's about. Final Fantasy. Yeah. Because Wing Angel, Sephiroth, of course. I mean, he's a Final Fantasy
Sephiroth.
Oh, no, this is Final Fantasy 16, not the 7 Rebirth.
Oh, okay. That's the brand new one. Yeah.
Yeah, no, the other Final Fantasy 7 remake, Rebirth, trilogy, whatever, comes out next year, and it will be on 2 discs instead of 1 because already we have to overpower the PS5.
Even the PS5 and all of its power cannot handle 1 disc of freaking Final Fantasy as a single game.
Well, actually, this one can.
For now, I'm about to say, but they're going to up the ante. Who's to say Grand Theft Auto 6 won't be 2 discs? Tell me when I'm telling lies. Guarantee you.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I'm surprised you two didn't ask me about how my Wednesday trip to DC Dynamite was.
Well,
we didn't even ask him, did we?
I wanted to talk about Collision first because that was the newest thing. But yeah, let's go ahead and get your live experience. You were back at Dynamite where it all began in the Capital One Arena for the 192nd episode. How was it?
I'm surprised they didn't go for 200. I'm surprised they didn't just wait till they got to 200.
Semantics.
Yeah, I just thought, like, why is this the 192nd episode? We go back to where it all began. It would make sense if it was a milestone episode.
Happy too freaking easy, in my opinion. And you got to consider again before we talk about our next event, what summer is going to be dedicated to before we hit the end of the summer, you know?
Yeah, so at that event, I was at Dynamite and I saw Rampage. I saw Bandito versus Konosuke Takeshita. Awesome moment. Awesome match. If Rampage was going to change its format and have it basically end, so to speak, of this era of Rampage when Collision started, that was the best way to go out. Go with Bandito versus Konosuke Takeshita.
Yeah, the freaking son of Don Callis and his new family that became a thing after Double or Nothing. The king, calm down, tranquilo.
But yeah, the audience reaction, the audience was very engaged with the show. Like, one thing I did love is that our beloved Justin Roberts went ahead and was interacting with the crowd in between intermissions. And he even did a rock paper scissors tournament.
What?
He did a rock paper scissors tournament between one of the camera crew members and one of the audiences.
That's brilliant.
And apparently, this audience member was the same person the crew member defeated in the first tournament, so to speak, when this
I
whole
knew
thing
it!
started.
He's a plant! He's a freaking plant! He came back for his revenge! Damn it! I'm just saying. That's hilarious, though. I'm not gonna lie. That's
The fan
hilarious.
defeated him. Also, we got a special guest breaking into my room and won't leave.
Oh, hello, Kitty.
Oh, hi, Kitty.
Now, this is the time where I would do a comedic throw, but I am not an animal abuser.
About to say, let's not condone
Let's
that.
not do that.
Respect. All right. Yeah, again, King, we've been with AEW since day zero, and since it began by a couple arena, you think about where it started and who was on it versus what we saw and who was on it. And we are now nearly 4 years in to this company. It's kind of wild to say the least.
And I got to see a rare MJF match for this first time in a while.
I was say you saw MJF versus Adam Cole
Wrestle.
30-minute draw.
30-minute time.
Baby. How does that compare to your live wrestling experience as far as match quality goes and storytelling?
We were insane. We were engaged. I was engaged. I took image pictures. MJF being MJF. It's different now without the commentary. Like, the commentary in AEW is a lot better than the other place.
Yeah.
Obviously.
But seeing like a mix of the new, the old, the present, like you had a WCW-esque moment where Chris Jericho and Sting have a collision together.
Oh, yes.
I still can't believe that. First time ever, by the way, that's happened. First time ever.
And they were in the same company in the Monday Night Wars, but never interacted. That's crazy.
And
right?
then they were in the same company again, and they still never interacted.
Which is crazy again.
Well, at least third time was the charm.
Well, I mean, yeah, they finally did it, so I mean, that's what matters, right?
Yeah, and I got to see Will Ospreay.
Yes, the comment.
Yeah, you did.
Hook kick
Why?
Kenny Omega out of nowhere.
Yeah, though the first thing I did, I took a picture. I was in DC, and I just said to myself, Washington, DC, you will never see a more wretched place of scum and villainy.
There's a reason why Saraya wasn't there, if we're being perfectly honest.
Yeah.
That's why she wasn't there. Just saying.
And let's see, I saw Aubrey Edwards, El Capone with the guitar. Yeah.
Oh man, that
Sadly,
was awesome.
wasn't Karen Jarrett. Everyone
Yeah,
was
that's the only thing
that.
that should have fucking happened. Damn it. I'm fine. I'm
Alright, calm. Tranquilo. No.
But no, you gotta remember, Jeff Jarrett and the Jarretts are the needle movers of AEW Dynamite. They had the most viewership.
Name value and longevity aside, I will respect the Jarrett name for the fact he still goes this age in the game and actually works with the younger talent. So be it. Don't have to like
this
it.
is honestly the best Jeff Jarrett's been in for like probably ever.
That is a fair point.
You're not wrong. As much as I hate to say it, you're not wrong.
Like we all looked at when Jeff Jarrett joined AEW. We thought, okay, he's gonna be a backstage guy. Then he turned to TV, and everyone was like,
Guitar smash to Max Caster.
Yeah, just whack him over the head with a guitar, because why the hell not?
Yeah, and then we thought, oh, this is gonna be a blunder waiting to happen, and then it just got over and popular, and people were loving it.
Bree woo.
Yeah.
All right.
Here's the thing. I did hear this. Noah, you might get offended by this, but there were many people in the comments and on Twitter timelines saying, Jeff Jarrett would actually should have been the one to dethrone Orange Cassidy at one point. Just because he was in the past.
I'm just gonna leave Jeff freaking Jarrett where it's lay. Because as far as I'm concerned, after that concession stand brawl nonsense Chicago, it should be over. Okay.
Well, here's the thing. There were rumors going around that, yes, he was going to take time off from the television side of things and go back into the backstage area. But then AEW was like, can we keep him around on TV? Yes. Okay. So Jared and probably Karen Jarrett are sticking around.
Oh.
Keep that wretched witch off my screen. Damn it. My blood pressure.
Look, let's see, here's the thing. I said this. I'll consider Jeff Jarrett's entire run in AEW a complete success if he feuds with Eddie Kingston. You all know what we're talking about.
I know, and Eddie Kingston, of course, is back, and we'll talk more about that with the Forbidden Door.
And also, the only way I could consider any positive comment for Karen Jarrett is this. She goes to WWE and forms the Karens with Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville.
And maybe Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville can actually get a win since they can't win as a women's tag team, since women's tag team wrestling is still irrelevant. Oh, for those that don't know, by the way, Isla Dawn and Alba Fire lost the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships. They have now been unified with Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey. This is the last chance to actually create a women's tag team division in WWE that apparently will be across all three brands, so it's said. Anyone believe that's actually going to happen?
I don't know, and I really don't care, but here's the thing.
See my thumbs?
Okay,
down.
Here's the thing about that. Remember how I showed you that link where it was revealed Charlotte took on Lacey Evans, and then the article was talking about how Charlotte is the greatest woman of all time?
Yep, I remember you telling us that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You kidding me?
Yeah, it was 2 minutes and 43 seconds. Somehow somehow they're saying, oh, well, that obviously proves Charlotte is the greatest. She defeated her in less than 3 minutes in a horrendous match that no one cared about.
Oh, of course. That just makes perfect sense.
But you want to know how long the tag team title match was for the women?
Over. I'm gonna go with over. No, I'm gonna go with under 5 minutes.
It nearly lasted for 10 minutes and 30 seconds.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe they. Well, it is Ronda Rousey, to be fair.
It is Ronda. Yeah, never mind. Yeah.
I'm about to say, you're going to give the time for Ronda Rousey because she gets whatever she wants.
But guess what was on the dark match side?
That would be
what?
Damian Priest fighting Matt Riddle.
Bro.
So they mean a rematch from Raw.
Yes, but not on TV because we hate you.
I mean, you can't be surprised if they don't do a match on TV because they run the same matches 24/7 times on house shows. I mean, so I guess you gotta do something different once in the blue moon, you know?
I guess you got to.
At least that's my take. All right. But yeah, Dynamite and Collision. Now I got nonstop wrestling through Wednesday through Saturday because I got Dynamite, got Ring of Honor. By the way, no one can stop Athena. What the fuck? Impact Wrestling. Give me Killer Kelly and Mosh Lemus as a tag team. I got Rampage. And now I got Collision on Saturday nights. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That's 4 straight days of professional wrestling.
Yep.
God help us. But I'm for it. I'm all in on it. And I'm not going to pick a side, but yeah, both shows feel different. By the way, so no, JR, get well soon. I really hope he's okay.
Also, I question why he decided to go and do a show with a concussion.
Commitment is one thing, but common sense with reasoning is another. It was not wise.
What point of Tony Khan had to put his foot down to tell Kenny Omega, look, Kenny, we love you. We appreciate you having 3 titles, but you need to eventually stop and go home.
I don't know. Again, I feel Tony Khan still does not approach everything like a boss should because he is still a fan. And sometimes when you have your heart versus your mind, it kind of can lead to a consequence.
So, Noah, I can tell you definitely what's a consequence.
What?
So I went and looked at the calendar. Noah, you're going to hate the first week of January.
Yeah.
We're already talking 2024?
Yeah, let me get to that.
During that. Why would I hate that?
Wednesday, Dynamite. Thursday, Wrestle Kingdom. Ring of Honor. Impact Wrestling. Rampage. Saturday, Collision.
Ooh.
So prepare all the drugs you need to keep yourself up.
Note to self: take off the entire.
Oh wait,
first
there's
week.
also a possibility they could have night 2 still if that's thrown in the table, but still.
Oh.
Note to self: take off the entire first week of January.
Oh,
Okay,
and there's
well,
New Year's Dash probably too on a Monday.
Oh.
God, that's right. The 5th's not during the same week.
Yeah. Oh, great. Here we go again in 2024.
Of the
What we
year.
do in wrestling, all things
Well,
wrestling.
note
Oh
to self.
God! All
Note to
right.
self.
Uh,
Take a week off as well.
to take a week off as well, he says. All right. Well, either way, Wednesdays and Saturdays are the days for Pro Wrestling at its highest, but I still love Impact Wrestling and Ring of Honor. Again, speaking of Impact, Slammiversary is right around the corner. Looking very forward to that. And as we know, this could be very interesting because WWE Superstar is taking on the Impact Knockouts World Champion for the Knockouts World Championship. Would Impact Wrestling literally give this to Trinity?
On the one hand, I can see it, but on the other, I feel like they're going to be like, okay, we could do that, but we're also impacting. We've kind of accepted we're in a wrestling madness world, so we might not do it. We might just wait it out till Bound for Glory.
King, you and I talked about how much we respect the Knockouts division, the best booked women's division on the western front of the industry, outside the women's promotion stardom. They respect everybody, give them all stories. They flex the charisma they can. That's why they got, instead of Rosemary, Courtney Rush, which is sick. And of course, they literally have a diverse, dynamic division top to bottom where everybody has a role. What's been your thoughts with Trinity's inception and Impact, and the fact she's challenging for the title this soon in what really is the start of her Impact Wrestling career?
Well, I did predict when we did the Impact watch along on the Zoom here a few weeks back, which was the only reason why I watched, which was because of Trinity and alone, and to let alone of the Impact I missed on Axis. I called it that she was going to get a title shot, but I didn't think it would come this early for her. But this is Slammiversary, and Slammiversary is known for making returns, debuts, and big moments.
History, of course, yeah.
Which, if just based off of that alone, Trinity, they're going. Scott D'Amore and Impact, they're going to pull the trigger. They're going to give it to Trinity this early. I feel like.
I just don't know at this point, considering Deonna Purrazzo, long may she reign, has had the title literally now for a combined 500 days in her illustrious, of course, three-time reign as Knockouts World Champion. And I know at one point there was talk about her contract as far as 2024, but her husband, Steve Macklin, did just lose the Impact World Championship in his second defense. Way less time than Josh Alexander, and now both the Military Machine Guns rule Impact Wrestling. Chris Sabin, a 9-time Exhibition Champion. Alex Shelley, after 20 years, finally Impact World Champion. Alex Shelley defends the title against Nick Aldis at Slammiversary as well.
I'm pretty sure that's the reason why they're going to do it. They're probably going to have Nick
Aldis
the title.
And speaking of that, you want to know why Alex Shelley won that Impact World Championship, right?
Yes.
Because he, from what Sean Ross Sapp and Fightful reported, that Alex Shelley has re-signed with Impact.
Mm-hmm. He's there for the long haul, just like Moose is also there for the long haul. I wonder if this person's there for the long haul. King's favorite
Jesus
person.
Christ!
No, Henry.
Jesus Christ! Oh, Lord have mercy.
I had to bring it up.
You just had to bring it up, didn't you?
Speaking of Impact, apparently Speedball Mike Bailey has an idea.
Oh.
For Impact Wrestling game.
Ooh.
Bring Impact back. Bring Impact back. Seriously. I missed that game.
I don't think it's a bad idea. But
he basically wants to do this. Okay, hear me out. 2K style gameplay meets Skyrim.
You can't mix those two together.
You can't do that. That's no.
Look, Kenny Omega made Molotov cocktails happen in a teen-rated game. I think anything's possible.
And plus he's an anime fan, and he did the Ginyu Force animation on the Fight Forever game.
Oh, there is another animation from the anime world in the game.
What?
Fusion.
Fusion.
Ah.
Yeah.
All you're just waiting now is some way that Kenny Omega goes Super Saiyan.
Oh, don't worry. I'm pretty sure he'll try that or go Street Fighter.
So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about Fight Forever. The wait's finally over. Fight Forever is at our fingertips, literally within less than a week, and so far, it truly feels like a comparable throwback where it's just have fun with a wrestling game. It combines the likes of No Mercy with the elements of SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain, and Shut Your Mouth, two of my favorite games ever. So I'm looking very forward to this with the dynamic of the mini games and the career mode. I think the only thing right now that I'm curious about is match quantity, because the amount of match types here, it does still feel limited to a degree, even with exploding barbed wire, which is also fucking ridiculous. If you looked at Sammy Guevara and Ty Mello, by the way, congrats to the happy couple on their baby coming up. All the best. And it's a baby girl. So again, all the best, especially versus what happened with Penelope Ford. I'm just glad that she's okay. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. I have not bought a wrestling video game since SmackDown vs. Raw 2010 because the 2K series just didn't do it for me. I kind of fell out of the genre, so this actually might bring me back because it doesn't feel like that cookie cutter play-by-play, same as the day, plastic as ever, wrestling as video games.
2K, the new 2K games ever since 2K20 kind of nearly killed the franchise completely.
Though I've heard 23 has been a bounce back for it.
Yeah, especially since they stole your Simple Man gimmick for a Twitter comment on the GM mode.
I mean, to be fair, I may be the Simple Man, but I'm not the only Simple Man in this world, so it is what it is. Besides, I got a good enough job working in IT. I don't live for money. I just live long enough to provide for my family, despite how much I'm pissed off at them at times, and live for wrestling. But that's a whole different story. King, your thought?
I was also going to mention, like I've been hearing again, they're saying that this is going to be basically what everyone thinks a live service game should be, where we release DLC, we release characters instead of making a game year by year by year by year by year. And if it does well, they'll make it a franchise.
I think that's a smarter move versus just making people buy a whole new game, because I look at Nintendo, by the way, Adam Cole and Britt Baker. They actually went on a tour of Nintendo World Headquarters. Again, being an avid gamer, I'm sure it was an incredible moment for Adam Cole. But that being said, I think that's a smarter strategy and a more budget-friendly strategy to the consumer than just bringing out a new game each year, considering next-gen games digitally are $70 standard. What the fuck?
Well, if I can explain that, it's actually quite simple why they did that.
Why?
You got to have money.
Exactly. That being said,
the thousands of microtransaction users weren't enough.
Well, I mean, look at Mario Kart. They didn't make a new video game. They just brought out redesigned courses every quarter, and people are buying that like hotcakes, and it feels like a new video game. By the time they're done, you literally will double the tracks in the Mario Kart game, and I'm pretty sure Mario Kart is still the best-selling game of all time for Nintendo Switch. Although Zelda might give it a run for its money, because I've heard incredible things about Tears of the Kingdom, which I do need to get.
Oh, don't worry. Nintendo also charged that $70 now.
Go figure. Everything's going to go up. 2024, games will be $80. Mark my words.
I don't want to wish that into existence.
No.
Guys, it's not a prediction. It's a spoiler. This is the economy.
Okay, Paul Heyman.
This is not EC3, but this is the top 1% of the world that dictates everything. Fuck them. Anyway, King, your thoughts on Fight Forever now that it's finally here. I know that you pre-ordered it, and you can't wait to start playing it. And by the way, Cindy, Lex, and you all need to stop that with the fact that she's DLC. Anyway, go ahead, King. Your thoughts on Fight Forever.
First of all, we're not going to stop thinking about that. We're going to leave that on until Wednesday. But nonetheless, this game has been, it has went through development, more development, and then we thought we were going to get the game released. We had a setback. Thank you, GCW.
We also had COVID.
But I'll say that was not the only setback. Let's just put it out there.
Actually, there were like 3 different setbacks. One was the COVID virus. Damn you all. The second one was THQ and Ukes being a little fighting with Kenny Omega over the production of the game, and Kenny being psychopathic.
Right.
And then it was GCW.
Well,
so yeah, we had setbacks.
Domino effect, like the arcade tower Mortal Kombat. Continue.
Development, setback, and now we're here. I just can't wait to play this on day one. As in, I will already have the game ready to download on Monday, but won't be able to be playable until late Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning. Yeah. So, because I got the Elite Edition.
Yeah,
of course you did.
So, the gameplay I've already seen. I'm pretty sure you have, Eric, as well. Have already seen gameplay highlights on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. The gameplay looks. The All Elite Arcade too. The gameplay has been what I expected it to be, and it does fit that, No Mercy to Here Comes the Pain, Shut Your Mouth, SmackDown versus Raw vibes. That's exactly what it needs to be brought back in this wrestling generation. Like this current generation of wrestling fans that, people like us have already experienced, that needs to be brought back. Because what 2K is doing, 2K is producing great numbers and everything, but they still got bugs to fix, especially with community creations and everything else like that.
Hey, at least they got rid of the limiter for the community creations download.
That is true. They did get rid of that, in which I am hoping when it comes to, since with AEW Fight Forever, they're going to build off this game for years and years and years, that we're going to get more matches and we're going to get more. They're basically, and then plus, of course, with seasons, they're going to go with everybody because everybody else does seasons. Call of Duty does seasons. Fortnite does seasons.
No, that game comes out every year, so that shouldn't count.
I'm about to say
Fortnite,
game each year.
NBA 2K. Yeah, they come up with, so basically we're gonna get season passes and everything like that. And of course, I've seen their item shop. Oh yeah, if this game does be successful, watch 2K copy that same mechanism.
It's not just wrestling that's the rivalry; it's the freaking video game industry now that's in a rivalry. Good grief, almighty! What are you most excited to play first in the game, though, King? You gonna do the My Elite Rise to Elite career mode? You gonna do like exhibitions? Go do a mini game? What are you gonna do first?
The first match I'm going to do is the match that, everybody wants. Everybody wants to see it since these two have, men fences, but not, I can't say for the rest of the parties involved. Punk and Omega.
Just so hopefully you include a steel chair.
Damn. Can't do that in a normal match. You get a disqualification, but you got more than enough gimmicks.
Oh, please. Kenny Omega will bring the Molotov cocktail.
Yeah, or bring out the table. Okay, of course.
Well, I know what match I'm going to do to start this off.
Let me guess. Exploding barbed wire death match?
Oh, no. We are going to get, for the first time ever, the first ever glimpse of the world we'll see, Wrestling Valhalla. Owen Hart versus Brody Lee.
Oh my god.
Oh my
That
goodness.
sounds incredible. Again, both, of course, are in the game amongst this huge roster of current AW talent and previous AW talent, including Cody Rhodes.
Which I think somebody needs to have a talk with 2K, because if AEW can get Kingdom, how come WWE 2K can't do it? And of course, people.
Here's what I'm pretty sure what happened.
Wait, W2K video game doesn't have Kingdom?
Nope, it doesn't.
That's
It
so
doesn't.
Nope, it doesn't.
stupid.
Okay, so basically, if you were to try to create an alternate attire for Cody and use it, it doesn't work.
That's stupid.
Well, here's what I think they also did. I think Tony Khan went to WWE HQ, said to Vince, "There's on the Kingdom in my game."
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
We all know.
But there is a thing in the game that one of our ATW buddies, Casey, discovered, and I was like, "Why the hell did you put that in there?"
What Eric is talking about, Noah, is diverticulitis, and
it's modeled using the F5.
It's modeled using the F5, and if you know your history with Brock Lesnar, that's what got him to retire from UFC.
Nearly die.
and nearly die.
That is not a difficulty bearer or an attribute effector. That's just downright wrong.
Yeah, I was just like, wait, why did you include why did you call it diverticulitis?
And I've
Like,
seen
I know
people try,
why, but like, why even call it that?
but I've seen people try to defend it of saying, "Oh, Kevin Steen used this as his finisher. He used the name as a finisher." And I get your point as well, but when it comes to a life-threatening situation
You
like
gotta draw
that,
the line
yeah,
somewhere.
No,
Seriously.
Draw the line.
Here's the thing. Kevin Steen, all those years ago, was probably just being young, edgy, and stupid.
right.
This is a $10 million investment video game of a multi-billionaire and major companies and a rebirth of THQ and Ukes.
Not a wise move. That's
Not a
all I
wise
gotta
move.
say about
Still,
that. I
still not a wise move.
Really hope that gets corrected sooner rather than later.
Oh, also, there is something else I found out. When you create the wrestlers, they make an all-elite graphic for it.
Yes, they do.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
also,
the created wrestlers.
I can only
And
imagine how many people are going to give us the YouTube.
and also one team name,
superstar, male or female. Continue.
and also I seen on team names, I saw two names that were involved. The first one is Blood and Guts, which is really not a team, that's an event. So expect Blood and Guts to be involved in the match here pretty soon on probably post-launch or DLC.
I can see that as DLC personally.
But the second name, I feel like it's probably going to interpret of what we're mainly going to talk about of this ATW View Impromptu. Golden Lovers.
Okay. Okay. Well, Collision showed us anything tonight with the meet and great choices. Okay, red herring. ... I see what you're trying to do.
Okay, I'm back.
No, you're good. I see what you're trying to do here, but again, so bottom line, congratulations to Kenny Omega, AEW, Aubrey Edwards. I cannot wait to play this. This is definitely going to be purchased on my July paycheck because right now, got to take care of some personal matters.
Also, guys,
there is
something I found out about the AEW game.
We're definitely going to create an AEW game out of this too. But Eric, you have a thought before we move on?
Yeah. One of the people who got a preview of the AEW game, so they came out with something about the creator wrestler stuff.
Yeah.
So because the Elite were like, okay, we got a lot of good faith, we built something up, we need to do a Nintendo move, but not as dumb, but still pretty dumb. Newly created wrestlers won't be strong enough to compete with the established talent. You have to train them first in Road to Elite.
Oh, great. So that was true. I've heard that was a rumor all along, so it is true.
Probably, yeah.
No cheat code there. You can't make somebody as good as Kenny Omega.
So it's basically we're going to go the route of SmackDown versus Raw and all of that. Yeah.
Well, I'm like, it could be worse. It could definitely be worse.
They probably expected people, though, to focus on the actual roster itself. And if you want to truly be elite, you work for it. So I kind of can understand why they did this, bro. Because this is not new.
Like, let's be real. People want to do Roman Reigns versus Kenny Omega already.
Yeah, well, they got great Roman
Reigns. By the way, that reminded me. They even included Roman Reigns' fist in entrance.
Yep, along with AJ Styles' entrance, Finn Balor's, Io Shirai's, Rey Mysterio's, just to name a few.
Yeah.
Oh, and Shinsuke Nakamura's too.
You can't own an entrance, so there you go.
Yeah, and I was just like, I know you want to do Kenny Omega versus Roman Reigns so badly, Elite, but come on, we know WWE's not going to allow that.
No.
Well, of course they ain't.
Until you come to our turf.
Everybody in WWE is forbidden to interact with the outside world that is not connected with WWE in any form wrestling, even if you support those in wrestling. Again, speaking of which, good to see Liv Morgan back.
That did remind me of something. The New Day committed sacrilege.
What?
The New Day, the executive.
Oh yeah.
Said, it would be cool. We could do a 6-man tag team match with the Elite. That'd be damn awesome and whatnot. I'm like, well, you're screwed. You just ruined the rest of your remaining time in WWE, probably.
Maybe they're,
Maybe that was done by design on their part because they know they want to.
everybody wants to see freaking Kenny Omega and Xavier Woods, if nothing else, because you've seen them in the Capcom tournament.
But you want to know what I think they might do interestingly for the game if they do it?
What?
What if Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara uses it in their feud?
Yeah.
But here's the thing, and this might be totally destructive. Chris Jericho goes under the ring in the game and pulls out a plastic baby doll and starts wailing Sammy with it.
Yeah, because let's not forget the weapons are randomized. So whenever you go underneath the ring,
I'm technically referencing that implying that Chris Jericho says he's gonna take Sammy's baby and beat him with it because dark.
Well, I mean, you gotta be dark, right? Gotta be darker than Raw Underground. Or the last hour of Raw that used to be with the black and white lighting.
Oh, that was disgusting too.
Yeah, well, again, WWE right now, they're trying to turn everything white and gold with the brand new titles that are Frio Rocha wrappers because Raw's become the world heavyweight brand, while SmackDown's become the undisputed brand. Whatever the fuck that means. So, take that for what you will. All right, and other things, again, changes in Stardom factions are coming up here pretty damn soon. Impact Wrestling, we're on the road to Slammiversary, and Scott D'Amore is in action. What the fuck? In his hometown. Team Canada.
Oh, yeah, Scott D'Amore is going to team up with somebody to fight Bully Ray.
And Steve Macklin. He's teaming up alongside PCO.
Yeah.
Slammiversary, King. You did say it yourself.
Yeah, that is true.
Just forget company. And of course, Ring of Honor, they have freaking Athena, the unstoppable force of women's wrestling right now. She survived the Chicago Street Fight against Kara Hogan. And Athena has said now this women's division needs to step up or step out because someone needs to truly test her further than anybody else has since she's won the title at Final Battle. And of course, Clark's Millie still Ring of Honor World Champion. Samoa Joe still Ring of Honor Pure Champion. Or excuse me, no, Castration Bottoms Ring of Honor Pure Champion, which is fucking phenomenal. Samoa Joe still Ring of Honor Television Champion. The Embassy still Ring of Honor Six-Man Tag Team Champions. And of course, the For Dishonor is right around the corner in July. So that's just some other stuff going on in wrestling. NXT. Not my NXT! But I digress. For some reason, Seth Rollins took on Braun Breaker. And they're trying to make NXT a third brand. Again.
After they tried to cripple it and put it back to developmental, then they try to retcon the past by saying, oh, they were always on developmental. I definitely never say it was the third brand. Triple H said this.
And I quote, boo-ba-dee, boo-ba-dee. Good Lord. Well, again, WWE, logic, you can't put the two in the same sentence. That's why Cody Rhodes will not finish the story, and he's facing Dominic at Money in the Bank.
Yep.
Oh,
and if we all recall, this is like the third or fourth month Roman isn't defending the world title.
Yeah, let's go
ahead. And he has now passed Pedro Morales.
1,074 days plus with a red, blue, and yellow strap.
Yeah, why does he still have the 3 belts? I know. I read that
because they want to keep it like the lineage of the Universal Championship going. That's the reason why they want to keep 3 belts.
Then why not just update your website and say that instead of treating everyone like they're idiots?
Because
this is WWE. They're talking. This is WWE we're talking about.
About to say, kids will buy into anything. Hey yo. That being said, yeah, Charlotte Flair's back, and she's going to get her 17th title probably by Money in the Bank.
No, I don't think she has a match at Money in the Bank. That's next week on SmackDown.
But here's the thing. One of two things is going to happen. It's going to end in disqualification, or Asuka loses to Charlotte again.
Because Bianca was told she's banned from ringside, so they're probably going to do some shit.
So Charlotte is going to win her 17th
title. Or Bianca's going to somehow still screw them up.
Exactly. Disqualification, triple threat, Money in the Bank, Charlotte wins, then somebody catches in on her. She gets the 17th title, and then we get a new women's champion. It's the same old story. But I digress. All right. So that was a quick rundown of WWE, which, again, is very underwhelming. But I will say this, like King alluded to on our last Zoom, this Bloodline Civil War is probably the only lifeline of WWE interests we have left in this company, because now it is the Usos taking on younger brother and cousin. But yes, you're right, Eric. Once again, the titles are now on the line. But I think this is going to lead to Jey Uso or Jimmy Uso versus Roman Reigns at SummerSlam for the title.
Okay, now here's another question. Do you really think they're going to have Roman lose to one of the Usos?
No, so
No, of course not.
Sikoa gets pinned.
Yeah, Solo's going to get pinned, and that's what Roman's going to get furious about that, and he's going to take his frustrations out.
No. I say, do you really think Roman's going to drop the title at SummerSlam?
Oh no.
They're gonna hold out till WrestleMania because they're still holding out for.
If you all recall, there was actually rumors about what they plan to do.
Yeah, keyword though, rumors.
Rumor.
And they changed on the spot.
The rumor being, oh no, we're not gonna wait till WrestleMania 40 to drop the title. We're gonna wait till the summer so he can overthrow Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, because Hulk Hogan needs to be forgotten apparently.
When it comes crashing down, and it hurts inside.
Would be lost.
Imagine CM Punk one day just coming out to Real American. What sort of message would that send?
I mean, he did do the Hulk Hogan mannerisms tonight, brother.
Oh, and Christian K said, I left in a bad mood.
Now I'm in a worse mood.
Now I'm in a worse mood. I can't stand. They're burying every sports team possible in Toronto. Damn.
He's not wrong. As a sports fan, as a sports fan in this ATW family, besides Cindy and Lex, he's not wrong. I mean, he's not wrong.
All right, fair enough. Let's go ahead and talk about the Owen, because once again, since we are talking about Canada, AEW for the second year in a row is once again honoring the late great Owen Hart. Not only is he in Fight Forever, very curious how his moveset works, but we once again have another men and women's tournament, and your host their bracketology contest, King. Now, we talked about verbatim when it came to Owen Hart. He was a young guy, underappreciated for his talent, that was world championship caliber, but never got there. But he made sure to let you all know he was the conversation, he was the talk, he was the best there was, the best there ever will be, etc., etc. And so here we are with both Owens tournaments. As we know, the women's Owens has been underway, and Sky Blue and Willow have both advanced. We'll see soon enough when we talk about Forbidden Door, Phoenix Billy Starks. And last year's finals is an opening match next week, Wednesday, in Tiebreaker DMD versus Ruby Soho. In my personal opinion, both these Owens need to have a fresh, bright, up-and-coming, rising professional wrestler win this, because that goes to the tribute of Owen and his rising success. And while I don't think they'll use the Owen as a bragging right, because Adam Cole and Tiebreaker DMD didn't use that last year, this should lead to a huge amount of respect and better opportunities. But I still say out of this entire bracket, Sky Blue needs to win this. But I think it's going to be Sky Blue versus Athena. Eric, we haven't talked at all about the Owen. What's your thoughts on this year's Women's Owens tournament?
Look, last year, Martha got her moment. She got to feel a sense of closure with Owen after all that time because Tony bought an extra hour because he actually wanted to be generous about it.
Which that time I can respect.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it burned our collective senses due to the fact that we had to sit through nearly past midnight.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, continue.
I'm still saying Ricky Starks and Sky Blue. They're going for an underdog story with Ricky Starks saying, oh, you're the loser. You're the one who always loses. You're not going to amount to anything. You're always going to come up short. And, oh, wait, I'm pretty sure Owen Hart was treated like that.
Right. I mean, heck, Owen Hart and Bret Hart
and
had
Sky Blue, well, let's be real. She's been on a rise lately. We might as well go strap the rocket to her.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely did on the Collision premiere. I mean, she got the win in the tag match on Ruby Soho, so it'll be poetic to run back Ruby Soho and Sky Blue and get the win one-on-one. Because Outcast versus Original is still on right now.
Forbidden Door. I know we haven't talked about Forbidden Door completely yet, but we almost had Mercedes Moné.
I know, we know. I know.
But there might still be hope. She might go all in and fight Saraya.
I still think Mercedes Moné has one AEW appearance in her before the end of this year, and I'm just going to leave it at that. But I definitely agree with you on both fronts. As we looked at the women's one, I definitely agree about Sky Blue. And as far as the men's, yeah, at this point, why CM Punk, this is one thing he wanted to do. You got to consider if they run back CM Punk and Samoa Joe, I think history's still going to hold up. Or CM Punk gets screwed by Samoa Joe, or even Switchblade Jay White for that matter, because I don't think they're far from done with each other either. That's another person he wants to work with. And then on the other side, we saw Ricky Stars overcome Powerhouse Hobbs when Team Taz basically disintegrated, shorter than the main event Mafia. Just saying. And I do think Ricky Starks right now is the guy that absolutely deserves this. King, do you echo the same sentiments?
I do, which I do see CM Punk and Ricky in the finals, and I see Sky Blue and Athena in the finals. Now, like, as far as, who wins it, I agree with Sky Blue. But as far as the men's, it's a toss-up because it's like, if you have Punk and Ricky, if you telling Ricky with the story of being the underdog and all that, of course, it's going to be Ricky. But with the way that Punk been back, and since then, it's like, man, I got to go with Ricky, but I have a gut feeling it's going to be Punk just because of who he wrestles, who he gets the style of wrestling from. That's the brother of Owen.
Where's the pink and black? And let's keep in mind the
finals.
Also,
what do you think is going to happen on the next collision with MJF showing up?
Yeah, again, wrestling debut. So
wrestling debut.
They didn't say what capacity though. And let's not forget, there's a blind tag tournament going on right now. Only one team's known. They will be the next #1 contenders for FTR's AEW Tag Team Championships. And the first team
shut up, Shivani.
Yeah, Adam Cole, baby, and MJF, who are both in action at Forbidden Door, and MJF's defending the World Championship. Can they coexist? They might not get the chance to even try and coexist.
Nope.
Oh no! Don't worry, Adam Cole. I'm coming for you.
He should have done the Jeff Hardy dance.
He's not gonna do that. But yeah, it is one of those things where it's like you gotta consider CM Punk and MJF in the same building.
Yeah.
On a Saturday. Well, not for us because
we all know the real main event. We know the Elite and CM Punk will be together for the first time in months at Forbidden Door.
Yeah, everything's gonna be underneath the same building. So yeah, I think these OWENs are kind of, well, I don't want to say one-dimensional, but I just feel like Sky Blue, Ricky Starks, they're your best contenders to go with. And with the Owen concluding in Owen Hart's hometown of Calgary, CM Punk's gonna get fucking booed out of the building if he wins that shit.
He is.
You heard what Canada was tonight to the straight edge Second City Saint.
God, I just had a realization. What if CM Punk defeats Ricky Starks using a Bret Hart move and not an Owen Hart move?
Oh.
And he will do that too. He will.
And that's what's so accurate about that. He will do that.
Well, again, we're going to have to wait and see as the Owen commences at Forbidden Door. Before we get into that, also we know G1 Climax is coming up. We got Katsuki and Mia Perez Noah involved. We got Eddie Kingston, first time ever involved. We got Okada defending his streak of 2 wins in a row as a 3-time winner. And a bunch of young blood in the brand new Bullet Club led by David Finlay. Sorry, King. On the New Japan side of things. And 4 blocks of 8, once again. Pretty crazy stuff here, as you can see by this. I can't wait till they run back. Ishii versus Kingston. Let's freaking go. And, of course, Okada and Ospreay will be run back as well. Last year's G1 Climax Finals, Born in the Ring. So I'm looking very forward to all that. Fuck Yano. So stay tuned, folks, for me and Casey's coverage on that. But with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about our reason why we're here tonight. And that is, once again...
Well, there is one more thing I want to mention.
Go ahead.
It was revealed in the interview in a press call that Tony Khan said, I am tempted to do a G1 style tournament.
Oh, God.
And I was like, you have a tag team division. You can do that.
Maybe that's the blind tag tournament idea?
No, I refuse to acknowledge that. I'm talking about all the established tag teams. We got over 30
That's fair. I mean, they still got to build the perfect trio to counter the House of Black and claim the trios championships. Just saying.
Yeah. Though, if you want to establish the trios team to dethrone the House of Black, which should be a long ways away,
you would hope.
Let's see. I would say, just for the hell of it, we get. We get Pac, Andrade, and Claudio Castagnoli, referencing NXT days.
NXT Trinity. That's a Triforce that actually will work probably for a moment. Dun, 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 dun. But anyway, all right, guys, let's go ahead and briefly talk about the Forbidden Door before we conclude this condensed AEW Impromptu. Nice timing, by the way. So, again, Tony Khan, fucking madman. 14 matches. We are not talking about all 14 because some of these I'm like, why? It almost feels like a Road to show on New Japan Pro Wrestling because you got LIJ, Los Ingobernables de Japón, taking on the United
Empire.
The United Empire. You got the Mogul Embassy taking on Trent Beretta, Rocker Romero, Roppongi Vice, and El Desperado. That's random as shit. You got Stu Grayson taking on ELP. And then you got the only match that matters for me in the 0 hour, again with the Owen, Athena versus Billy Starks, in which I'm hoping that Billy Starks shows me a new side of craziness considering how bright this upcoming, super heavily booked, independent rising star is against a seemingly unstoppable fallen goddess in Athena. This might as well be called Athena's tournament. So all I gotta say is Billy Starks, good luck to you. Love the pink line, by the way, King. Not much to say about that. Then we got, who's got bread? Because we got, of course, in the men's side of things. Yeah, you're right, Eric. You're right, King. CM Punk, The Elite, Kenny Omega, everybody's involved on Forbidden Door in matches. It starts with this. Why do I feel like CM Punk and Stretch Kojima is going to be one of the earlier matches on this show in our first time ever encounter? And of course, there was
let me take a while guess of the match placement for this.
Go for it.
It's going to be the second match.
You picked the second match, huh?
Yeah, because they're going to tease Punk and MJF staring each other down.
Oh, yeah. So you think MJF and Tanahashi going to open up the show?
Oh, no, they confirmed it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They did. They did.
Gotta say, you do realize what MJF did say. So, yeah, let's go ahead and talk about this. Hiroshi Tanahashi, the guy that coined the term Forbidden Door, will we see him humble the devil to a degree? Because when the lights are on bright and it's the biggest stage and the biggest chance, the ace rarely misses. But MJF is the guy that always says he is better than you, and you know it. The funny thing is, what could he beat Tanahashi with? Could he just do a simple Boston Crab, or the Lion Tamer, like Jericho did at Wrestle Kingdom? How does MJF embarrass Tanahashi in his own opinion? What's your expectations of this match, guys? Especially with the fact that, again, it is the same night where you got to consider MJF is going to try and send a message to CM Punk. Maybe put Tanahashi to sleep.
Well, I think I know where they might go with this.
Go ahead.
So there is word going around that New Japan Pro Wrestling is now looking at Hiroshi Tanahashi and it's like, you're our top guy. You will always be our top guy. But you're no longer worthy of protecting anymore at this age of your career in major matches. So which means MJF could actually pick up a clean win.
That would be phenomenal, especially considering he's teaming alongside Adam Cole, who's been calling him a coward.
Right.
And of course, Adam Cole be taking on Filthy Tom Lawler. That's even more random. Not much to say really about that, though. But yeah, and again, we did talk about the last time MJF got a clean win, pun intended, clean win, was probably the very first episode of Dynamite against Brandon Cutler when he was just the typical heel, but he was still Cody Rhodes' best friend. King, your thoughts on this AEW Championship match?
Tanahashi will beat some respect in the MJF. Like that, I do see happening because, with MJF calling NJPW an indie-fed Japanese promotion, which, of course, that's disrespectful in my opinion. But with Tanahashi, like I said, Tanahashi will beat some respect in the MJF, but in the end, MJF is going to get a clean win, whether that be like a Fujiwara armbar salt of the earth or just a clean pinfall.
Also, I wanted to ask, what did you all think of his match with Swerve?
That was pretty awesome.
Awesome.
Well, there is word about Hiroshi Tanahashi.
What's up?
Apparently, he is severely banged up more than usual, and his knees are worse than ever, which is different than he was a year ago.
We did see that when he came up with the high fly flow. So we kind of instantly he almost lost his balance.
Yeah, and you want to know what he wants to do next after Forbidden Door?
Oh no! What?
Not only will I be in the G1 Climax, I will outperform Kenny Omega by main eventing All In.
Oh, Tanahashi.
I mean, it's great that you want to be at All In, but no, not the main event spot. No.
No. And again, Tanahashi's the guy now that gives back to the industry, and I can respect that.
I will say
Yep.
this. I will say this. Imagine the Being the Elite episode where Kenny Omega reacts to the fact that he was told by somebody, you do realize Hiroshi Tanahashi's the main event. He's closing the show. How do you think Kenny would react on the show?
I think his mentality's already screwed up enough as it is after Don Callis driving him in the head. And we'll talk more
I'm
about
pretty
that
sure
later.
he would go back to his 2020 phase when 2020 phase where he was hogging all the toilet paper.
Yeah, I remember that.
I mean, have you seen BT and the way how he drinks out of a water bottle as a late? That man's crazy.
Well, he also said the Bloodline storyline is better than the epic multi-layer, multi-promotional saga that is the Elite and the Golden Lovers.
Give credit where credit's due, I guess, for a 3-year campaign versus a longer legacy. And humor it. I don't know. But yeah, as we talked about, just a quick little rundown. Adam Cole takes on Filthy Tom Lawler for the first time
Adam
ever.
Cole.
Yep.
Adam Cole.
Gotta go with Adam Cole. Tetsuya Naito is making his AEW debut alongside Sting and Darby Allin against the Suzuki Gods and Sammy Guevara. I see Sammy leaves Chris Jericho at the Forbidden Door.
Sammy is going to leave the JAS and Jericho and like JAS in general, and of course Darby, Sting, and Naito.
Yeah, I mean, because Sting. The only thing that's for sure about Sting, he doesn't lose on pay-per-view.
And of course, right.
Oh no, that's not the only thing to be certain of. The only other thing to be sure of is that he will dive and he will go crazy about it.
And he's 63 years old and he still wrestles like he's late 20s, early 30s, just like Dustin.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Ric Flair is jealous that Sting is in a better place of him wrestling than him.
Yeah, considering he's got.
Because Sting takes care of himself, obviously.
Yeah, well, again, you have a stronger moral code, and you see what happens to you. Speaking of having a stronger moral code, whether you're whatever or not, guys, 25th time. Has he finally ran out of juice? Does Orange Cassidy lose the AEW National Championship? Might I add, this title was first named the All Legend Championship and was debuted and crowned inaugurally at Forbidden Door last year. Before it was leveled up after Pac lost the title to Orange Cassidy in the third time ever singles encounter in Canada, how fitting. And we're back in Canada with Orange Cassidy as champion now 1 year later at Forbidden Door in the same scenario that the title was literally contested under.
Okay, I just have an opinion. I think I know how the meeting went when they pitched this.
Go for it, because Jesus.
Zack Sabre Jr., well, I can't lose. I'm the current TV champion. Shibata, well, I can't lose. I'm the pure champion. And Orange Cassidy, well, I can't lose. I'm the most popular actor in AEW. Daniel Garcia. ... I'm the fall guy, aren't I? Yes, you are.
I usually do say in multi-person matches, you have buffer, you have fall guy, but that's usually triple threat. Here you got 2 buffers and 1 fall guy, because let's just call it what it is. Zack Sabre Jr. has defended the NJPW World Television Champion since becoming the inaugural champion now, I believe, over 11 successful times. And originally I thought it was going to be him versus Orange Cassidy 1-on-1, but also he's teased the idea of facing Samoa Joe for our television championship to be crowned the ultimate king of television. Now, I don't know how long the timeline would be. That's a whole different story. Since Katsuya Shibata took Wheeler Yuta to school, literally, at the last Ring of Honor pay-per-view and claimed our pure champion, he's been unstoppable and has not used a single rope break yet in a Ring of Honor Pure Rules Championship match. Orange Cassidy has done everything possible, from pin, orange punch, beach break, trap pin, grabbing tights, even against Swerve, which he thought was the most likely candidate. Has successfully defended this title under multi-person and single circumstances against everybody in and out of AEW, including Katsuya Shibata and Daniel Garcia, now successfully 24 times in less than a year. And then you have Daniel Garcia, who learned how to do a dance called the Woo, and is still calling himself the best pure technical sports entertainer. Although I feel like his confrontation with Katsuya Shibata, he suddenly remembers I'm still a pro wrestler. The oh my god, what the fuck moment for me would be if Daniel Garcia wins, to the point I will woo next time on the All Elite stream. I just don't see Daniel Garcia winning. I can't. I fucking can't. With that being said, Orange Cassidy, that means he goes 25? Are you kidding me? When does Pac show up? Do we get Pac versus Orange Cassidy at all?
Look, listen, I've called it. If Orange Cassidy somehow, some way retains that international championship, it becomes 25-0. There's only one guy who has not challenged for that title, and hopefully he gets his visa issues taken care of. Roosh.
Fair enough. Federico came up short, and Preston hasn't challenged for it.
Oh, no. You know what they're probably going to think of doing?
What?
They could do this.
It's not going to be Andrade.
The man of 1,000 deadly of the orange kicks. Taking on the best bout machine in Mortal Kombat. The entire world will be destroyed!
Oh, God.
Oh, my.
Oh, please, remember, Orange Cassidy was a world title contender at one point.
Again, triple threat.
That is true.
And you realize Don Callis did screw Orange Cassidy out of the title, and Kenny got the victory over him.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, to be fair, yeah, and again, he just rolled up him and escaped that match. That was at Double or Nothing 2021. So, again, semantics, but yeah, the fact that it was just thrown together as a 4-person instead of 2 separate matches, I thought it was going to be Shibata versus Garcia for our Pure Championship, and Zatsubiri versus Orange Cassidy 1-on-1. Orange Cassidy lost last year against Will Ospreay at Forbidden Door for the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship. Came this close to winning it. He's coming in as champion in a failed 4-way dance. Yeah, he's not losing the title. I just don't see him losing the title. And if Daniel Garcia wins, expect a rant.
No.
No, you can't take back the promise. We have it live on tape.
We have it live on the ATWV, first time on StreamYard. You cannot take it back, and you made this promise to me for a week and a half now. So you can't take it back now.
I'm a man of my word, but it ain't going to happen. I'll tell you that much. Oh, God.
Woo!
Please, love of God, win this shit. Okay. All right. Now, let's go ahead and briefly talk about this match, because after Sonata reset himself and finally wiped himself clean and decided to be actually leading a team instead of being part of a team, he now comes in as IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, defending against AEW.
Sonata.
It's Sonata. Jungle Boy going to turn heel afterwards.
I mean, after Sonata buried the man, even though he gave a Dragon Sleeper to Doki on Rampage, he says, I have no knowledge of Jack Perry. It's sad to see someone like that challenge for the IWGP. Is an open challenge really that easy to decide? It's the IWGP. I think it's worth more than the AEW Championship. Almost teases the idea that maybe they run Sonata versus MJF one day, considering both men and the proverbial chip they have. Is it me, or since Sonata joined just 5 guys, he's kind of developed this attitude that Taiji has seen in him, but he was the guy to bring it out of him? You know?
Yep, I have seen it, because when he was in LIJ, he was just, cold. Like, as in, cold skull. Well, ever since
if you were to, I'm pretty sure if you were to describe Sonata, I think you would say, we have Sonata. Okay, who's that?
Unless you remember him as the great Sonata from
He's
TNA.
our cannon father guy, right?
That's one way of putting it.
It is.
When Joe by Jack Perry called Hook his best friend, that was enough right there to tell me, yeah, he's turning heel. He's becoming desperate. He's almost becoming, dare I say it, Christian Cage-esque. Think about it.
And it's like Christian Cage brought this out of him, and he has, and now it's gotten to a point to where ever since Double or Nothing, ever since that AEW World Championship title shot, and he lost it, he wants championship. He wants gold again.
He had the smoking gun in hand under legal circumstances. Him and that Page last year against CM Punk in a twist of consciousness while the ref was down, cost the championship in front of the ref in a failed 4-way encounter where he could have used it. Jungle Boy didn't do it. MJF said, you could be like me, but you lack the killer instinct. Why don't you just sit along the side of the throne of the devil? Joe Jack Perry didn't want to do that.
Oh God, just that realization.
Prevented Joe Jack Perry winning the title. Yes, Eric?
Oh God, what if Jungle Boy decides to really embrace being a jungle guy and be the new planet's champion.
Ignorance.
Fickle.
Ignorance.
Like, remember, Miz also said that Bryan lacked killer instinct, and look what happened to Bryan in WWE at the end.
Jesus, he transformed to the planet's champion and redesigned the WWE World Heavyweight title and made it an eco-friendly WWE World Heavyweight title.
It was a belt that Matt Riddle would have loved.
Bro. By the way, congratulations to Goomfer, who is approaching him closer to being the Honky Tonks record, and he should, because he's been the best Intercontinental Champion since the Miz in 2016. There, I said it. All right, let's go ahead and keep on moving from there. Again, Jack Perry, time to develop an attitude. Attitude. Maybe he goes after the FTW championship. Hook versus Jack Perry.
I've been calling it ever since he's been having them little heel mannerisms. I called it.
Yeah, maybe Hook will actually give us more words this time. Maybe call him you fucker. hey, he's FTW, F the world, just saying.
You ain't wrong.
Well, again, I love women's wrestling. I wish they got Stardom like Julia or even Momokogo involved, but King, I know she's your girl.
Or Mercedes Moné, but sadly injuries happened.
And that too. And now we're stuck with this double-edged sword where Willow advance the Owen. She's going after a women's world championship while she already is a women's champion. One of these two champions is eating a pinfall decision, thus making the championship look weaker.
You already can tell by my lighting. I go with Tony, but it's sad circumstances because I like Willow too.
Let's be real. Props to Willow Nightingale holding the title, but let's be real. We all know she wasn't supposed to win it that night.
Exactly.
Yeah, that title was meant for Mercedes Moné, but injuries happened.
Yeah, and that's why they're going to run it back. I say they run that match back at a grand stage, All In or a big star or something like that.
But has anyone looked on Mercedes Moné's Instagram or anything like that? Because I know I haven't. I just want to see, speculate. Because if she is healed or anything like that by tomorrow, then
she could cost Willow the match.
Exactly. If she's healed by tomorrow,
Well, we know Saraya is back along the Outcast corner. You know Saraya will be so hard going to be in the corner. Sky Blue probably will be on the other side trying to play defense. I can see Akashida getting involved, but in my opinion right now, I'm just waiting again for the long story of revenge and redemption because there's one that deserves the moment at All In. It's Jamie Hayter. I hope Jamie Hayter gets the moment, and I think it will be against Toni Storm in the rematch at All In. That's one of the main events, in my opinion, at the All In pay-per-view. So for that to happen, I gotta go with Toni Storm.
Now, here's the question: if that's the plan they're going for, and if they can get Mercedes Moné, and she's probably going to fight Saraya, because that's the match people want to see at this point.
Right.
Here's the thing I'm going to just throw out there. What would we do with Willow Nightingale? Do we have her fight at All In? Or okay, here's an idea. Here's a revolutionary idea for AEW.
Go for it.
3 women matches. Willow Nightingale takes... Okay, first off, Jamie Hayter versus Toni Storm for the world title.
I'm a hater.
Oh, wait, we actually have 4 technically if we want to do that far. Chris Statlander versus whoever for the TBS title.
Right.
Mercedes Moné versus Saraya.
Okay.
Willow Nightingale versus Sky Blue.
NJPW Strong Women's Championship?
Well, that'd be a mutually respectable bout. That'd be interesting to see the two friends collide. And she's been on the rise. She's absolutely been on the rise. So, yeah.
And if she wins the Owen, they gotta give her a title run.
And she's already had a chance against Toni Storm, and she came this close, including surviving Storm Zero, the first to do so in AEW. So, yeah, I could see that. By the way, Chris Statlander, great to see her back after August.
Imagine, though, if they go 4 women matches at All In. Then they'll say, we revolutionized the industry again.
Tony Khan is not that politically incorrect or chivalrous to do some stupid shit like that, all right? He actually respects...
No, it's not about the tribalists mostly.
Well, again, tribalists, wake up or get fucked.
It'll just be Tony Khan finally realizing the women can make money.
Well, I don't think it's because of that. In my opinion, Tony Khan always just feels like a guy that, and I think this just goes for us, even as fans. I don't think men understand women. Simply put, that's why I don't think men understand women's wrestling. There's a reason why I say the knockouts are the strongest division booked. Who books them? Gail Kim.
Yeah, I know. Oh, by the way,
That's true.
there's been an update of what happened after Collision went off the air.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Tony Khan posed with the best friends.
What?
huh?
Tony Khan posed with all 4 members of the best friends: Rocky Romero, Trent, Chuck, and OC.
Of course, because you got to give the people what they want.
Oh, no, they didn't do the hug. They just posed on the stage.
Oh, well, that's subtle. Considering after Collision, they were doing Bring Up Our Tapings, as Tony Schiavone alluded to on the Control Center. Excuse me, thank you. Either way, I hope these women have a good match. I'm sure they will, but I hope it's perceived correctly. But this is just weird on all fronts. I was expecting Ruby Silver's Will Nightingale for the NJPW Strong Championship, if I'm being perfectly honest with you, because Ruby can afford to eat a loss.
No.
Yeah, anyway, let's go ahead and get into the serious thing, because when I look at this pay-per-view, I think there's not 1, not 2, but 3 matches worth main eventing, and they kind of all run together, if you understand what I'm saying, because you got Blackpool Combat Club, you got the Elite, and you got New Japan Pro Wrestling. So here we freaking go. And King, why don't you go ahead and kick off this shindig, because you are Elite, but truly, what is Elite? And will the Elite reign supreme as it's 10-man tag team action as your boys in the Humbucks tag alongside of all people? Eddie Kingston and Tomohiro Ishii against Blackpool Combat Club, Shota Umino, and Konosuke Takeshita. Something's going to give here.
Something has to give, especially what had happened at Anarchy in the Arena, because Blackpool Combat Club beat, let's just face it, they beat them, they destroyed them. It was chaos on Double or Nothing. They got their win. And then, of course, here we are with Forbidden Door, but with Eddie Kingston being the 4th man, it's like, I don't really trust you guys and everything like that.
I don't respect
So it's like the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And, of course, Mox and Eddie about to draw a line with that, as we can see unfold in front of our eyes. So it's like, I'm going to find me a 5th partner, but it's going to be somebody who I trust. And, of course, I knew it. It was going to be Ishii.
I called it.
Lo and behold, it was going to be Ishii. And, of course, on the Blackpool Combat Club side, I mean, I knew Takeshita was going to be the 4th, and I knew Shota was going to be the 5th. My thing is, will the Blackpool Combat Club get the 2nd win on the Elite and become 2-0 in this feud, or the Elite tie it up? As me personally, I want to see the Elite tie it up because, of course, we got blood and guts possibly in the near future, and this is what it's all building up towards to. Is blood and guts.
The end game.
That's the end game.
Yeah, but at the same time, we all remember the last time Eddie Kingston was in a big multi-man match and involved blood and gasoline.
Yeah.
And let's look at the stories here. So you got Blackpool Combat Club versus the Elite at the forefront, right? The 3 men on each side. Then you got Konosuke, the first member of Don Callis' new family, looking to cut the Elite out of All Elite Wrestling. We still have no idea who else is part of this family or if another member of the family is going to show up at literally Forbidden Door. You got Claudio Castagnoli and Eddie Kingston's hatred to each other over a decade plus long since Shakura. And then you have Ishii, who kind of is just an added force here, but he's had beef with Shota Umino, including at Dominion, when Shota, Claudio, and Moxley challenged Okada, Tanahashi, and Ishii for the 6-man weight tag team championship. So again, what's the biggest story here? And even in all of that, Jon Moxley, Eddie Kingston, yet to come to blows since Eddie Kingston returned that you saw live, Eric, might I add. So, again.
Oh, they did a promo after the show, too.
There you go.
And guess what? Kenny Omega mentioned.
What?
I forgot to mention this. You can love us, you can hate us, and he mentions mending fences. And I was like, Kenny, you know I need to post the obligatory Hawkeye gift. Don't give me hope, man.
This is Kenny Omega we're talking about. You know how he perceives storytelling and
He
wrestling.
loves to do it. He loves to do this. He loves to do this.
So again, what's the biggest story to come out of this? Do you run back Eddie Kingston vs. Clara Castagnoli for the Ring of Honor World Championship possibly at the next pay-per-view? Shota Umino and Tomohiro Ishii, I believe, are not in the same block in the G1 Climax, but there's potential that they can meet each other, as Tomohiro Ishii is in the same block as Eddie Kingston. They've fought each other in wars, not only in NJPW, but AEW. So let's also keep that in mind, gentlemen. And again, John Moxley, what did he mean by every time? When I heard that, every time what? We didn't get an answer to that. They could run back Kenosi Takeshita versus Eddie Kingston at some point, because that was a Rampage opener. Both men knocked the shit out of each other, literally. Eddie Kingston just fell into the fall and got the win there. And Konosuke right now, since adopting this dark aura, clearing that fiend. What the hell is that fiend, by the way? Just that's
Right?
really all it is.
Yeah, when I heard that, I was like,
was that a fan?
Are you trying to go for Resident Evil Silent Hill horror?
That's what it sounds like, without the friggin' Umbrella Corp in the corner, as far as we know. Jesus. Yeah, again, what is the biggest story? I understand what you're saying, King. Endgame being blood and guts, but how much more freaking warfare do you need? And technically speaking, your humbugs did get the win. King saw it live. Remember, main event. It was the freaking main event of that Dynamite. They beat the Blackpool Combat Club 3-some.
Oh yeah, that is right. So we are tied at 1-1.
It's 1-1.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah. So if I was a betting man, I think the Blackpool Combat Club are going to win this, and Kenny Omega's going to have no choice but to call in the big guns.
Well, he's got a couple in his corner if that's the case, but that
it's like he said, he got 2 non-AEW friends to help him out in the fight. So
yeah, and at this point, based on the story tone, because this match and the next 2 matches we're going to talk about kind of like just go with each other. I think it'll be the entire story of the night. I do think Blackpool Combat Club is going to get the win here too, because I do think it's a more common united front, because they hate all 5 of these men. And with the combustible element of Eddie Kingston, you know something's got to give, whether or not intentionally or unintentionally. Eddie Kingston, I think, is the key to defeat and victory for either side.
Also, doesn't Tomohiro Ishii also have history with the Elite, mostly because of the Bullet Club days?
Yep.
When they ran roughshod?
About to say.
Yep.
Just saying. Again, and Ishii, he don't give a shit, man. He's just gonna beat the daylights out of everybody. Plus, I'm pretty sure he wants to knock Wheeler Yuta. And let's keep in mind, Don Callis and Wheeler Yuta, you know, are gonna be in the corner.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and talk about our double main event here, because again, and I wonder if the result of this match could have any implications towards either of these 2 matches. And according to what we heard by Excalibur, we know what match is closing the show. So let's go ahead and talk about the semi-main as I rewatch Wrestle Kingdom 17 today, because a match back for revenge. You should have killed me when you had the chance, but you didn't. I'm invading your turf, your country, and I am getting back what's mine. But Kenny Omega said post Wrestle Kingdom, I am not ready to give up that hat as the ring master. Why would I be? Why would anyone be? So again, will the experiment finally succeed where he has not and reclaim the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship? And with Will Ospreay having private security by Don Callis, at least to the building, will the Invisible Hand enact a plan that will lead to more dismay for Kenny Omega? Is Kenny Omega right now at his weakest mentally? And is that the one thing Will Ospreay needs to exploit for victory? You heard what happened during that press conference ahead of Wrestle Kingdom. You have everything possible physically, but you don't have everything up here. And Will Ospreay literally got cut up here and reminded Kenny Omega. And again, Eric, you saw this live. So,
Yes.
Eric, what's your thoughts on this match? Not just the result, but
Well,
the
let's be real. Let's be real. Kenny Omega is basically mind has been splintered at this point. Because think about it. Think of who the Elite are now dealing with. The Elite are dealing with Don Callis's family. And they don't know who else is coming in to join the family.
Exactly.
You got Blackpool Combat Club. You got United Empire waiting in the shadows. And if you were a hopeful man, CMFTR is waiting to throw chairs.
mending fences, right?
Mending fences.
CM Punk is in the same building as all these people.
So think about it. That's 4. Oh, and then you gotta remember. Oh, what's Eddie Kingston and Tomohiro Ishii gonna do if they finally snap at them? That's like 5 factions going after one.
Eddie Kingston and Kenny Omega. Jesus Christ, Lord help us. The man just came back from surgery. Let's not kill him.
He's been put in the G1 Climax. I think they're already trying to.
Oh shit. Anyway, yeah, continue.
But yeah, with Kenny Omega's mind now divided in all these factions, gunning for the Elite's reign of power in AEW and their sphere of influence. I don't want to say yet if he's going to drop the title. I feel like if he does drop the title, then I want to say they could do it at Forbidden Door, but I was like, but wouldn't it make more sense to have Will Ospreay defeat Kenny Omega at All In or Wrestle Kingdom?
Exactly. Well, All In
like,
is
granted,
really
there's the hometown advantage, there's the hometown curse thing, but like, come on, let's be real. AEW tends to have the hometown winner most of the time.
True.
Yep.
But Don Callis is also a hometown curse.
Yeah.
And even Don Callis has said he got security backup to protect Ospreay of what he said.
So we're kind of in this, I don't know who's going to win. It's just going to be a hellacious match because think about it. You have the Elite are surrounded. They're surrounded by the United Empire, the Blackpool Combat Club, the family of Don Callis, and God knows who else is going to gun for them.
But everyone's at the Elite. It's the Elite versus the World, King. Let's just be honest here.
It really pretty much is. It's
about
pretty
30
much
minutes. About 30 minutes this year was Wrestle Kingdom 17 that Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay went to absolute fucking war. And Will Ospreay nearly died at one point, I felt like, with how much blood he was losing off of that spot.
Well, he did say he lost a pint of it.
Jesus Christ almighty. And he still kept going. And then, of course, you figure about the fact that right now it is literally 2-0. Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay overall in their singles history. But a trilogy of matches would not be impossible to conceive, but also could even go to a draw or be thrown out. Like, Kenny Omega's defended the title once since winning it, by the way, back at Wrestle Kingdom against Jeff Cobb when he brought back the cleaner, including friggin' Devil Sky on Dynamite that nearly made you pass out, King. So, yep.
Now, if only he could do the Sephiroth entrance again.
I don't think I would not count it out here.
Don't hold your breath because he might do it tomorrow.
He's not going to do a Sephiroth entrance. He's going to do a Final Fantasy 16 reference entrance.
Yeah, clearly. We're going to get to entrances again. There's no doubt about that in my mind. This is the second biggest match on this card, in my opinion, bar none. But I look at it like this. Will Ospreay. He said he had to get things back together before the end of the year, or he may need to have gone somewhere else or step away. The man has been on Chris Van Lee podcast saying, I'm comfortable in New Japan Pro Wrestling because now I'm a family man. I finally settled down. Hard to believe. I got actually obligations, responsibility. I could go home and see them, and I love doing that. And I love the style.
And I don't want to live in America because America's currently messed up currently.
Well, he didn't say that on Chris Van Lee, but there probably was something about that. He said to beat Kenny Omega, though, I probably have to go back to being that twat that everybody hates but gets the job done because he tried to go back to his past, the aerial assassin, be flashy, and it'll bite him in the ass, literally. So whether or not Kenny Omega falls to the combo of Kingpin or Golden Lover brings up the cleaner, and let's not forget the history with Kota Ibushi and Will Ospreay, Wrestle Kingdom 13, folks, just saying. And that's really where this all stems back. They even talked about that in the Wrestle Kingdom press conference ahead of the match. I do think with the fact that Will Ospreay is going into the G1, and he's in the same block as Okada, he needs some sort of leverage mentally. And I do think he will get that holding the IWGP United States Championship. Because right now, there is too many storylines going with the Elite in AEW. Will Ospreay is New Japan Pro Wrestling. Simple as that. I think Will Ospreay is getting the title back somehow, some way. I just have no idea how. I'm actually going with Will Ospreay on this. So I'm torn. I'm truly torn. But I think Will Ospreay, because Don Callis' motive, and clearly, like you said, screwdriver or not, Kenny Omega's mentality has been split down the middle. I think Will Ospreay is going to take the advantage and get the win, some way, somehow. King, what's your thoughts on this whole thing?
Is it possible that they're going to have a second match of the year and possibly top their first one from Wrestle Kingdom 17? Yes. It's a possibility that's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Because within these two, what we saw at Wrestle Kingdom 17 was unbelievable. Unbelievable. And there is a possibility of them topping themselves in Toronto. I mean, we had a match of the year to start off the year, and we're possibly going to get another match of the year within these two because these two are going to leave it all in Canada. And of course,
yeah.
go ahead.
Oh no. I was gonna say, imagine if they want to do All In though with them.
I just don't
That
know.
is true,
Yeah,
but we still don't know if they want to let it go down there because Will has said that he wants to participate in All In. He has.
Look, King. I have an idea. I might be a little insane, and I might be channeling a bit of Bryan Danielson's insanity. But what if they have Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay open the show? 1 hour Iron Man match.
Dominion. He's trying to run back the trilogy of Kazuchika Okada and Kenny Omega.
That wasn't an Iron Man match. That was a 2 out of 3 falls match. We're talking about 60
It
minutes.
might as well been a freaking Iron Man match for what it was, Jesus.
Okay, you're right. Let's go with the Tessa Blanchard style of 75-minute match.
Oh, God.
Oh, 75. No.
That's even longer than what freaking Kenny Omega and Okada did. That was
I mean, like, didn't Bryan want to go 3 hours with Austin Aries at one point years back?
Yes, he did. Jesus, that man's
But he only managed to get 90 minutes out.
Right. And I'm sure he would try and do that. But then we talk about the longest match ever that took place on an island across like 3 days. So there you go.
So, but if Don, what he said about, I'm gonna bring my security with me to protect you on Sunday.
Yeah, security is his family.
Maybe his family. Maybe he's talking about his old faction from back in Raw is War. I forgot what that faction was called. When they was wearing the green military outfits or whatnot. I forgot what it was called back in the day. But he was the leader of that.
Right.
Maybe he brings those back. But either I'm seeing a time limit draw or Kenny wins.
Time
by
limit
shenanigans.
draw. Damn. But Don Callis did say all he wants is a fair one-on-one clean fight. Right. And Kudos to Takeshita and Kenny Omega have yet to run it one-on-one. So I am so damn torn on this match, but I cannot wait to go.
I got a question. With Don Callis mentioning his family, do you think Vin Diesel's gonna show up? Family. Fast
and Furious franchise overkill, like I said. Ghost in the Shell only had to do freaking CGI nonsense twice. I said what I said. Tell me when I'm telling lies. No, but that was funny. She threw me off. Yeah, as far as this goes, the fans win. If they run this to a draw, though, and this doesn't close the show, my God, that's a crazy-ass decision. But considering that the friggin' post-media scrum, we all know MJF's going to try and invade that somehow. Let's just put it out there. Is at 11:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be buckled in main card-wise for 3 hours and 30 minutes at least.
Well, the show technically starts at 7 if you want to include the 0 hour.
Yes, but thankfully those matches are on the 0 hour.
0 hour.
Freaking 10 matches.
But come on, we all know the 0 hour does have some quality moments, unlike the other shows.
Oh, absolutely, you can.
Fair point.
I could have just the 0 hour. Again, like I told you, I'm looking for a Phoenix vs. Billy Starks, but I'm also looking forward to the main event, as we know, thanks to Excalibur.
Also, I got an idea. If they have indeed done it, what if CM Punk screws Kenny Omega?
That will break the internet. Again, you talk about all the different factors. I'm not sure which one would piss off King more or would shock the world more. Shock the world.
I know what could do it.
Go for it, Agent of Chaos.
They have this match close the show. Kenny Omega loses. The Elite come out, and then you get all 20 people beat the living you-know-what's out of them to end the show and leave them in a bloody carcass mess.
The Elite truly cut out of All Elite Wrestling.
They go NWO style on the Elite of all people.
Jesus, guerrilla warfare. Oh my gosh. Absolute destruction. Well, that definitely would be a ridiculous chaos mosh pit. How's the champion of the British, by the way? Great Khan. Oh, hell. not
hell.
booked for this show. That's ridiculous. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about this, guys, because like you said, Eric, the end point, maybe that's the end game, because based on what we said with this whole Blackpool Combat Club versus the Elite, who truly is real? Who truly is the best? Who truly is the Elite? We picked Blackpool Combat Club in the 10-man tag. We picked Will Ospreay, except for you, King, in the United States Championship. That means the Elite go 0-2.
I got perfect. Even more scarring moment for Kenny.
You mean the fact that Bryan Danielson and him went to a 30-minute draw, but Bryan Danielson got his win over Kazuchika Okada for his first time out? Is that what you're alluding to?
Imagine the reaction Kenny would have. He fought Okada for the first time for 47 minutes for the world title and lost. Bryan defeats Okada in his first match as the main event. And how do you think Kenny's going to feel knowing that he couldn't do what Bryan did?
What if Bryan does it even quicker? What if Bryan submits the Rainmaker? But to counter that point, bruv, we're fucking talking about Kazuchika Okada, who's channeling Antonio Inoki and beating the shit out of every young boy that tries to step up to him in this generation.
Oh, so I heard he was part of the 6-man tag team division now, and I'm looking at this and I'm like, what? He's what?
He's part of the never open weight 6-man tag team champions with
weird, isn't it weird that
Tanahashi.
The Rainmaker was initially designed just to be world champion guy. I could probably buy him being IC champion and US champion, but the never open weight belts?
It's one of those things where for the first time he's not fighting for himself. He is fighting for a team. He won the titles for a team. But he's already beaten Kaito Kiyomiya. He's already beaten Ren Narita. He's already beaten Shota Umino. While all this current generation versus new generation stuff's been going on across all freaking Japanese pro wrestling, including the All Together show, when the NJPW, Pro Wrestling Noah, and NJPW all existed under one roof, and Okada still made the rest of them look like bitches. It's one of those things right now. Okada, he kind of gives 0 fucks, but now he's facing somebody else that gives 0 fucks for the first time ever.
To be fair, I think Okada got his 0 Fs moment after what happened at early Wrestle Kingdom when he got kicked in the head stiffly.
Yeah, and he beat the shit out of Kaito Kiyomiya, and then he beat the dance out of the guy on his own turf and then walked away. He embarrassed the man. And Kaito Kiyomiya at the time was the GHC heavyweight champion. But here's the dynamic, though, that we got to think about here. Bryan Danielson is one of the best of all time. Not a young boy in any rights. This could literally be the match that could break Okada and everybody else, and considering G1 coming up, could take advantage of that. Think about it. If Bryan Danielson beats Okada ahead of the G1, what does that do for the momentum or the motivation of
what if he beats it by submission?
Exactly. Look at who's in his block. Taiji, Great Khan. Oh, hell. Kenta, freaking ELP, Yoshihashi, and freaking Will Ospreay. What if Will Ospreay wins, but Okada doesn't? Could this be the moment that Will Ospreay takes advantage and beats the Rainmaker? Okada's not only defending his legacy, he's defending the fact that he's won the G1 Climax now 3 times the last 2 years in a row.
Well, to be fair, I don't count one of them because it ended unexpectedly due to injury.
I know, but still, circumstances. But yeah, and like you just said, when was the last time Okada lost a match via submission? Has that ever happened?
I don't think so.
I don't think that's ever happened before.
That would be
maybe an Impact when he was an Impact.
Let's don't talk about that. No. Let's don't talk about that Impact excursion. Don't. No.
I'm just saying that could have been the only time, but that's probably it.
No, don't bring that up. That was disastrous. Sheesh.
And the last time Kenny Omega lost in the decision, not part of it, because I'm not considering multi-person, directly was pinned or submitted. I don't think he's ever been submitted. Just say it. Pinned on American soil. I don't think that's happened either to a degree now that I think about it.
Nope.
This to me screams Okada's going to win. But Bryan Danielson's going to have the match and the fight of his life.
Bryan's going to get
soil this time, though.
What?
We're on Canadian soil, though.
That is true. Fair point.
And Bryan Danielson's not Canadian. He's American. Damn it.
Neutral ground.
I guess international affair, to say the least. But how do you bet against Okada? I'm just saying.
You
Well,
can't really bet
actually,
it.
you can, because if he was holding the gold, then I would definitely see him winning. But now he's not holding the world title.
Yeah, but again, ahead of G1, Blackpool Combat Club versus the Elite. Bryan Danielson's kind of been doing his own thing, by the way. The Blackpool Combat Club holds themselves to a standard of pro wrestling, saying they surpass the standard the Elite has set. And like you said, Kenny Omega, first time out, he took a chance at the Rainmaker, lost. Bryan Danielson does the same thing. Kenny and Bryan, let's just call it what it is, boys. They're the front runners of both these groups. They are the leaders, the pillars of the Elite and BCC, respectfully. If they both lose, I see that makes it neutral, and maybe this whole war with Blackpool Combat Club and the Elite ends actually with Bryan Danielson and Kenny Omega running it back. No time limit. I think Okada is going to win this, just to even things out and really give the ground of Forbidden Door to New Japan Pro Wrestling, considering the Ace lost last year in the main event for the freaking title. I think Okada is going to win this. I'm actually going with Okada officially.
I echo that. I got Okada winning this. I got Okada winning against Danielson. It's going to be a 5-star, maybe even 6.
Oh, God. Dave Meltzer's going to retire after star rating shit.
But other than that, I got Okada winning this one against Bryan Danielson. But nonetheless, it's going to be a damn good match to close out the show.
I just wonder, again, what the ending of this is going to be. If Bryan loses, does the Blackpool Combat Club come down, beat the shit out of Okada, and then you have the Elite come down, try to beat him up. Then Don Callis' family comes out, beats out the Elite, and tads alongside the freaking Blackpool Combat Club.
No. You also got to include United Empire.
Oh, no.
I think Will Ospreay will be like Business Cell and Sully just not respect Kenny Omega and head back to New Japan and focus on the G1 Climax.
To be fair, Don Callis is trying to get business dealings with him, so there's still a chance.
I mean, he called him a carny cunt at the freaking press conference. I think Will Ospreay would rather be caught dead than literally work with Don Callis. So,
right.
Oh, you want to know what he could have said?
What?
He could have said this: "I'd rather lose to Yano than team up with Callis."
Don't mention that name. Just don't mention that name. Don't mention that name. All right.
Wait. Oh, you know that just reminded me.
People propose the idea. People propose the idea of Toru Yano versus Danhausen. My brain will fucking explode.
No, not that. I was like, how come the Elite haven't referenced Yano defeating Jon Moxley?
Jesus Christ.
That's a good point, and I don't think Jon Moxley wants to be reminded of that.
No, he doesn't. Leave that alone. I think Mox wants to leave that alone, period.
What if Yano shows up?
But wasn't Moxley vowing revenge and saying that they would learn the stupidity of Yano to get revenge and yada, yada, yada?
If Yano shows up in that 10-man tag, the Elite are winning. There, I said it.
I will be disgusted if Yano shows up. I'll even say that that's a tainted victory. There, I said it. Tainted.
Oh, what if Yano defeats Orange Cassidy as his 26th opponent?
No,
Eric. No.
Practically speaking, Yano was declared the king of pro wrestling, according to
Jesus. Of course, you had to bring that up.
Keep Yano away from all championships, for the love of God.
He does not need a championship.
No, my anxiety. No. Oh, God almighty. All right. Bottom line, though, this Forbidden Door is going to lead to the first match being booked for All In my opinion, and it's going to leave us with something unforgettable, and I cannot wait to see what happens. This is going to be a phenomenal pay-per-view, to say the least. Might be my pay-per-view of the year.
Let's just wait that out. We got All In to go for.
That's why I said might be, because All In, like you said, will set a new standard. The biggest audience, biggest gate ever, biggest expectation ever in all Elite Wrestling to close out their summer.
Okay, I gotta bring something up. So you know how I've been on my YouTube thumbnails having this banner on the side of it called Destiny of Pro Wrestling or Reign of Pro Wrestling?
Yes.
Okay, I had this system played out for my mind, basically making it as a homage to the X-Men's current stuff going on. Because let's be real, AEW is like the X-Men. They are hated by a lot of people.
At this point.
For stupid reasons. But think about how this whole era would end. Rebirth started with All In. Destiny ends with All In.
Wouldn't that be poetic?
Yes. Actually, that's how I'm ending the banner system for a while because, let's be real, it had like I kept saying Forbidden Door started the Destiny of Pro Wrestling era on my channel, but then I was like, but what could top that? And then Tony Khan was like, I bought the rights to Ring of Honor, which means I own that name, the thing that started the Rebirth era.
You see, I bought Ring of Honor. Got Stokely Hathaway, Gary Lynn as the board of directors.
Also, isn't Stokely part of the board?
Yes,
I don't
yes, he is.
Why is that a thing? Why is that a thing?
Stokely and Jerry Lynn.
Oh God, I just realized something.
What?
King, you know what you can be doing now when you get Fight Forever?
What?
Make video game models of all of us so you can get the all-in graphic as an official.
That's brilliant. Oh, good Lord.
And because I'm going to ruin this video for Noah, we put bunny ears on his. I've ruined it. Thank you, everyone. Goodbye.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for tuning into another AEW Impromptu. On behalf of the entire W family, Amerijay, continuing your quest in the UK. I wish you nothing but the best. Follow Spinebuster TV. Follow Amerijay on Twitter. Shout out to the entire AEW family. Casey Flynn, Lex the Enforcer. Don't show that damn sign, Lex. I swear to God. Buddy, get well soon. Yeah, freaking King that is dying laughing. Cindy, of course, and her pursuits now part of SCW backstage interview correspondence crew. JD, the party guy, the wrestling encyclopedia, Casey Gallagher, the entire W family. Appreciate all of you. For the King A Train, for Eric R. Inquirer, Bearball Face News, and Agent of Chaos, Eric, damn you. I'm the Seminole Foster. I hope you all enjoyed
so
this.
Close, no, but so far from the game show.
Dadgummit. We are ATW. We are AEW. We look at all things wrestling, and we bid you now a fine adieu. Until next
Yay,
time.
Ali, adieu.
Damn it, yeah. As always, this ain't no Final Fantasy. This is a recurring theme where once again Eric has raised my ire. And once again,
you missed the opportunity. You could have saying this. This is no Final Fantasy. This is reality. No escape from reality. You missed it, Noah. You missed the Bohemian Rhapsody tribute.
Anyone can see. Nothing really matters.
Except Yay Ali.
Really, damn you. Goodbye, everybody. We'll see you next time on the ATW.
I wonder how you're going to explain this to James on open mic night.
I'll be in that one too, and I'll put hashtag Yay Ali, and then I'll dip.
Damn it, you both! We are ATW. We'll see you next time. Bye.